might unalive in 7 hours, and I'm not afraid. I, 14M, have a bone disease known as multiple hereditary exostosis, MHE. It causes benign bone tumors to grow everywhere on my body. Although they aren't cancerous, they are very painful when they are near a nerve. A lot of these tumors have grown in my knees, fingers and ribs. You can probably guess there are a lot of nerves and muscles there that can be pinched and pierced. It hurts quite a lot. I am constantly at level 5 pain, scale of 1 to 10. I can only walk for up to 2 minutes. I can't write with a pen. If I couldn't type, this post wouldn't exist, lol. And I'm basically in agony. We have decided I will go for surgery to saw off some of the most painful tumors in my knee. Hopefully this will restore my ability to walk. The doctors have also decided we should remove 2 of my ribs, which have cracked due to the tumors. They'll be replaced with metal, I think. There is a 20% chance of unalive with all these very complicated procedures, and of course a chance the surgery doesn't change anything, or even makes it worse. Rolling a less than 6-sided dice to determine if I live or unalive. But to be honest, I don't really care what happens in this surgery. If it works, great, I can walk again. If it fails and my condition stays the same / deteriorates, I've adapted to this disease enough. I can probably handle a few turns for the worst, and if I unalive, well, I suppose then there is no more pain. My friends say it is wrong for me to feel okay about dying. I'm not suicidal, I wouldn't unalive myself if I had the chance, but I don't exactly care if I unalive at this point. It's in fate's hands at this point. Comment anything. In 7 hours, I'll be on the operating table, that'll determine my destiny. Edit, soon about to enter the operating room. Well, this is it. Let's see our fate. Edit 2, I'm alive, let's go. Recovery pains a bit, but otherwise, I'm fine. Edit 3, hey, I've recently turned 16, just wanted to give an update on my life. I'm still sick, unfortunately. That's the sad part of chronic illnesses, but that's alright, I've coped with it, and I thank you for reading this, for whatever reason, years later. Also, I know that the percentages my younger self wrote was absolute nonsense according to a few commenters. Apologies, I was a 14-year-old who was panicking because of a surgery. My odds of survival were likely much higher than I anticipated back then. Still, this post really did portray how I felt before a possibly life-changing surgery. Once again, thanks for taking the time to read this really old post. I hope you enjoyed my story. Update, 3 weeks ago, I might have unalived. Now, I'm alive, and relearning how to walk. Hello lads, you may remember my previous post. If not, here's a quick recap. I, 14M, have a bone disease known as MHE, which causes non-cancerous bone tumors to grow across the body. Although they aren't cancerous, they still cause problems such as causing my legs to not be able to walk longer than 3 minutes, and causing pain in my legs due to this. My doctor suggested I do a surgery to remove the bone tumors in my ribs and knees. They'd have to remove 2 entire ribs as the tumors were inside the rib. I was prepared for any result of the surgery, didn't really care whether I lived or unalived. I had prepared for unalive, and was hoping to live. I'll write what happened on each day in the hospital, and each week at home. Note that I don't write a diary, so all this is in hindsight, so some dates may be inaccurate as I forgot when some events happened. Also, I add unnecessary details sometimes, so I'll put a TLDR at the end. Day 1 in hospital. It was early morning when I entered the hospital. I had texted some friends, and hugged my sisters and mom. I then went to the operating room with my dad, and the doctors took over from there. Quick briefings happen, then the gas mask is on, and I inhale anesthesia. Whatever happened, it would be alright, and I wake up, yep, I'm alive, and feeling pretty weird. The surgery was successful, very nice. The doctors wheeled my bed to the ward, and my mom's overjoyed. Once I'm aware enough to use my phone, I text my family and friends. They are all glad to see me alive. I also update my post on Reddit and posted I lived, bitch meme selfie on my profile. I eat dinner and it's time for bed. Then I wake up in the middle of the night. Oh shoot, I can't breathe properly without immense pain. The one thought in my mind was got damned, did I celebrate too early? I call the nurse, he gets me a O2 mask and breathing returns back to normal. With not much else to do, I return to slumber. Day 2, the doctors are concerned about what happened last night, so I do an x-ray on my chest. They decide it's alright, and I go back to the ward. The thing that happened on day 1 wouldn't happen again fortunately. Day 2 was spent mostly lazing around, being in pain, playing dumb Roblox games and learning to sit up on the bed with the help of my physiotherapist. Not sure what else to say, day 2 was boring. Oh, and I barely got sleep, because there were 3 children crying at night in the ward. Day 3 is much more interesting. On this day, the physiotherapist came and told me I should relearn how to walk. She trains me to stand up, gets mad at how I'm not standing straight, mercy PLS, my knees just got operated on, and we began walking for a few steps. I need a lot of support, and it hurts like absolute hell, but it's progress at least. I can make it to the toilet, but I still refrain from using it as sitting down on the low toilet would hurt. Worse than hell! We also remove the bandages on my chest, the doctors say they look pretty good. He adds a waterproof transparent spray thingy onto my wound so I can sponge bath easier. I got a bit of a fever, presumably from an infection, but it's nothing serious, and the night is much better, only 2 kids cry. Day 4, I practice walking a bit more, and I can walk down the entire hallway. I need support for this though. The physiotherapist decides that now I am slowly regaining ability to walk. I can go now. Dismissal forms are prepared, and I leave before lunch. I take an ambulance home, as I live in Singapore where ambulances don't cost your life savings. Flex on the Americans. First time on an ambulance, so pretty neat. I spend the rest of day 4 chatting with sisters and forcing my sis to buy me video games, and I can finally sleep without crying. Yes! Week 1, day 5, 6, 7, pretty boring. Spent most of it playing video games lol. Week 2, I began making progress and walking by myself. I can walk a good 5 to 10 minutes without rest. This is actually really good progress. I'm shocked how fast I healed. I also revisit the hospital and they remove the stitches in my knee. Nice! Week 3, this is where we are now. I can walk for up to 15 minutes, longer than I could ever imagine last year. Wow! I'm super happy to be at this point. Today, I will try to use stairs and see if I'm capable of doing that. I'll update y'all if it's successful. I would also like to thank everyone for leaving nice comments on my previous post. I appreciate all the kind words. Life is getting better now, and I'm glad I'm still alive. I'm excited to enjoy every moment of life, now with the ability to walk. I'll gladly reply to any questions y'all have. TL, DR, survived a surgery, almost died again, did a few x-rays, and made good progress on relearning to walk. I'm happy now. New update, many months later, still alive. Lots has changed. Hey guys, it's been ages, sorry for the lack of updates. I've been busy living life, and I'm admittedly kind of a lurker nowadays, and don't post or comment much. So, what has changed? Some good and bad things have happened. My ribcage feels completely fine nowadays. I can breathe without issue. Hooray for nitrogen and oxygen! Thanks for being able to enter my lungs without making them touch egg-sized tumors. Unfortunately, my legs have regrown some tumors, and they hurt again. The doctors don't want to operate again, as the tumor is near some major nerves this time around, and would also take a lot of digging your muscles and stuff. So, I'm back in the wheelchair, with limited walking abilities, about 10 minutes max. I guess breathing is a lot more important than walking, so I consider the surgery to still be a beneficial thing. Regardless, I have a few things to talk about. I have gotten a lot of messages from people concerned about me, that's why I want to make this post. First up, some people want to share my post on other platforms, while others did it without asking them out. Feel free to do it, just link my Reddit post/account. Secondly, some people with the same illness as I am wanted to reach out to me. Sorry for not responding, I have so many DMs and I simply don't look at them all. I'll probably get to you in a while. The last thing, a lot of people complimented my writing styles in those posts. Thank you very much, I try my best to make my English teachers proud. I am also considering getting a writing career, though it seems very difficult to do so. Might consider writing short stories and making money from Patreon. And that's all I have to say. I'm somewhat happy with my life. Maybe one day I'll walk for more than 10 minutes again. But until then, thank you for all the support. Thank you for the many kind messages. Thank you for making me so much less stressed on March 9th. Someone in the comments told me the percentages were for old people, and I was actually very likely to survive that surgery. That was assuring. Thank you kind stranger. Love you all, and adios.